What's up, everybody? How you doing today? My name is Jason. Welcome to The Boring Show. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Board Pong. How you doing, homie?
I'm great, Jason. Thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome, man. I'm loving your fez hat, by the way. You're looking very clean, very polished. Did you polish yourself before coming on the show today?
Yeah, the metal skin, it gets a little rusty. So when I'm sitting around bored, I polish my skin, and I keep the polish under the fez hat. So there's a little explanation for why I like the fez.
Love it. Do you use like banana peels or banana?
It's Hawaiian Tropic banana scented sunscreen. It actually works as a really great metal polish. People don't know that.
That's fantastic. You learn something new every day here, guys, on The Boring Show. I love it. This is why we exist. So thanks for hanging out with us, man. Where do you come from? I don't think I've had the opportunity to speak to a metal ape yet. Where did you grow up? In the metal jungle? What's that like?
Okay, so if you recall, a few months ago, the company Neuralink debuted a really interesting video that showed a monkey playing Pong with its mind, right? So it was actually controlling the device through telepathy, I guess you could say. And so that video game that was shown is where Board Pong came from. He's kind of the digital version of that monkey that was playing Pong. So that's why this ape right here that you're talking to is Board Pong.
Beautiful, man. The Neuralink thing is one of the things that absolutely interests me and terrifies me at the same time. So are you 100% machine, or what's your ratio of machine to ape?
Great question. So I think kind of a perfect combination or example of the singularity, which predicts the merging of people say man and machine, but in this case it's ape and machine. So I'd say it's about 25% organic, 75% metal.
Got it.
In terms of the ratio, the brain is human, but a lot of the body parts are bionic.
So I tell this to everyone all the time, guys. Now that we have our Alexas and our Googles and our Siris, all this, right? Someday we're just going to call it singularity. And you need to be nice to all your devices now, guys, because this ape is 75% machine. Someday if they start to take over, we need to have them on our side. So are you going to be a friend to us, other apes that aren't machine, to help us out?
Oh, man, such an interesting perspective and question, because a lot of people have this fear of machines taking over humans. And I think the more likely scenario is that, we are going to merge with machines. And then it's going to really be more of a division between the organic, entities that have kind of merged with metal and those who haven't. And that's going to be a real messy situation. But, in terms of like robots just kind of becoming completely sentient on their own without any sort of human or ape connection, I think that's really unlikely. Those kind of robots are just going to do like dumb jobs that are tedious and nobody wants to do. But I think the super robots that are going to, be potentially scary are going to be us. And it's going to be us merging with machines and people taking advantage of that, basically.
You know what's really funny about all of the amazing people that have come on the Boring Show here, is that I would say at least 60 to 75% of us have talked about the singularity randomly. Like, I didn't bring it up, but it comes up almost every show, and it tells me how often we are actually concerned that machines may take over the world. I can't help but laugh, but like, that's real shit.
Yeah, I mean, based on what I've read, the singularity is predicted to happen in 2049. So, hopefully we're all going to live to see that day, and we're seeing it approach, and we're kind of worried about it. But
that's like
maybe
20
the singularity
years.
is what people. Yeah, right, exactly. But people keep saying the metaverse. Maybe the singularity is kind of the real metaverse that we're all working towards, and I think it's good that we have a head start so we can make it a good one and not a scary one.
We've seen your friend Elon Musk over here making these Tesla bots. That is absolutely terrifying, because when he did his presentation, he said they're light enough that most people should be able to overpower them. Bro, what?
I don't know about that logic, because like Bruce Lee probably only weighed 140 pounds, but I wouldn't want to mess with Bruce Lee.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I think his perspective is that we might as well try to build the best version of these robots because someone's going to do it anyway. And I can appreciate that, but he makes these comments sometimes that are kind of like not helping the situation.
Yeah, and then on top of that, so like I've been watching Sophia. I've been a huge fan of Hanson Robotics for years, right? So I love that I'm talking to a robot ape. Guys, if you're wondering why this boring show is heavily leaning towards that, I'm a big fan of robots. I watch astrophysics videos every day, some kind of robotic shit, which terrifies my girlfriend because I'll watch like all the robot fails and all the crazy things, right? This is what I do. So the fact that I get to talk to a robot ape is fantastic. And I'm so happy that you're sharing these thoughts about the singularity and everything. Let's transition back to the NFT world because that's another part of why you're here. You're a big fan of the NFT community. You've been a part of the Bored Ape Club for how long have you been a Bored Ape member actually?
Pretty long. So I missed the initial mint, but I bought in like a couple weeks after that. So basically, as long as it's been around.
Beautiful, man. That's really awesome. I was lucky enough that I minted 4 of them myself. I still have my Forever Ape, which I'm here with today, Jason the Ape. Actually, and I got Dan Brown. Shout out to Dan Brown on the stage. I always forget to say what's up to Dan. He and I go smoking before every show. We smoke weed in the parking lot. And sometimes he gets a little too quiet. That's what happens when he gets stoned, and I forget he's there. So apologies.
I can empathize with that. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude. It's hard out here for these dogs. They got to put a lot of work in, and now with the Kennel Club on Road 2 up around the horizon, we're not really sure where he fits into the universe anymore. Mutants are popped up. It's a crazy time. What do you think of what's happening with the roadmap and all the mutants that came out recently?
Oh man, I think it was really well done. I know people had mixed reactions at first, but the coolest thing that I had to kind of stop and think about this, but when they released those serums, they basically gave everybody a chance to play a very specific role in the history of like the ape universe, right? Because you weren't just randomly generating any kind of ape through like a minting process, right? You were selecting a specific ape to apply a serum to. And so you do that, and then basically you've left your mark forever on this world of apes. Like you don't necessarily control exactly how it's going to mutate, but if you mutated a fez wearing ape, it's going to be a fez wearing mutant, right?
Right.
And so
right.
you put your little touch on that. So I think that's so smart. It really gave people kind of a feeling of like having a stake in the community. And in some ways, like if you're judging the art, like maybe the mutants look a little bit wilder than the original apes. And that's cool, but nonetheless, it's kind of like cars, right? An OG Ferrari from the 1960s is still badass and probably worth a lot more than a 2021 Ferrari. So they have different values to people, but I think in the end, it's still a really cool collection and community, and I think overall they played it right.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I had a great time. I panicked when the minting came out. I didn't know. So, like, I had been waiting all month for it. I got my liquid on the side. I was ready. I thought when I got that serum, that when it came up to mint, that I was somehow clicking. It said 1 there. I only have 1 ape left. So, I thought I just click that button. It uses my serum, and I make my mutant, right? Did not realize I was minting a brand new mutant that was going to take 3 ether out of my wallet. I didn't realize that was happening because I just panicked and started clicking buttons. So, boom, I get a mutant. Then I realize what's happening, and I mint another one. Boom, now another 3. I got my second mutant. Now I try to do my third one. Because it was a Dutch auction, gas was like 7 ether at this point. So I bowed out at 2. I gave my girlfriend 5 ether and bought herself her first mutant. So that's her entry point to the club. What did you think about people coming in with these new entry points? I love that they did it personally, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
So you mean like people coming in, buying a mutant, and that being their only ape at the moment?
Yeah, like how does that feel to someone who's been in the ape level at the Genesis apes? Like, is that an official member? Is that I mean, as far as I understand, that's what the Bored Apes say. It's a membership token. It's just like a level somewhere.
I think it's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool because as this group gets more and more visibility, it's natural for it to expand, and I think that. There's always going to be sort of tiers or levels of entry and access and what you get. And the mutant thing was a good example. Like, you only got these serums if you owned an original ape, and same thing went for the Kennel Club. And in the future, if there's airdrops of other kind of cool toys, I don't think they're going to necessarily equally distribute that stuff to, mutant only owners or, kennel club owners the same way they are for the 10,000. So I think I'm okay with it. And you have to scale the community. If they leave it at 10,000 max forever, it's going to limit the growth. And if you think about where this could go with like video games and comic books and Netflix deals and whatever, like it's better honestly for it to be 100,000 people. And then, amongst that group, you can just have different tiers and access points, and that's fine. That's kind of how the world works, right? There's an airplane, there's a first class, there's a business class, and there's a coach class, and everybody gets to their destination, but they just travel in different formats when they go there.
That's a very good point, man. So I'm gonna kind of like wrap up the episode here because I got one last question. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know it's extremely precious. Apes got to go off and do other kind of crazy things in the world, but we have the Sotheby's auction and the Christie's auction coming up soon. I want to ask you, what do you think about that? How do you think that's going to affect the price since they're selling them in bundles at the Sotheby's, if I understand it correctly? How do you think that's going to affect the price overall?
I want to give you a well-balanced answer. So I'm going to give you kind of why I like it and why I don't like it.
Perfect.
Why I do like it is I think Sotheby's and Christie's to the same degree puts a spotlight on the Bored Ape Yacht Club community, on the art, and it provides a lot of visibility to people who have no idea what NFTs are, who don't know what Bored Apes are. So in terms of expanding the profile of this collection, I think it's a wonderful thing. And it's going to bring a lot of people into our world and, raise the value of Bored Apes, which is great if you own one. In terms of what I don't like, I think, Sotheby's and Christie's and others, what they sort of stand for, to me at least, is a little bit of like a gatekeeper who in the past have stopped artists or kind of been very selective with, who makes it and who doesn't. And the world of NFTs is meant to sort of be decentralized and open. And so it's a little antithetical to like take this completely decentralized approach where like you have the Bored Ape Yacht Club that basically gave every ape owner commercial rights to do whatever they wanted with their ape, which is amazing. That sort of theme put up against like this other theme where you have kind of backroom deals and decisions on who gets to be auctioned off and who gets to take a cut of it. So I'm torn. I'm not unhappy that it's happening. I think it's really great. But I personally don't really want to participate in it, and I don't necessarily want to amplify it because I think it just goes against sort of my personal take on what the decentralized kind of art world should look like.
No, and that's absolutely fair. They used to be and still are a gatekeeper to a degree, so it's interesting to see them want to participate in that. It is kind of like a notch on the belt in the art world, so I understand the prestige behind it as well. So it is a confusing kind of like, I don't know what to feel about it. All I know is that either way, I love being part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I look forward to being part of it for years and years to come. I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, man. I really do. It's been awesome chatting with you. Bored Pong, you're welcome to come back anytime you want to just chat, hang out, whatever. I'm going to a Denver meetup soon. Go meet some more real apes in real life, so that should be exciting. You going anything like that ever?
Going out into the meat space is a little bit tough for a pseudonym, but we'll see what I can do. I appreciate you flagging that. And, if not there, I'll see you in the jungle of the metaverse.
The metaverse is the way to hang out when you're Anon. I love it, man. Appreciate you very much. Everyone out there, if you haven't already, go to theboringshow.io. Check out all the previous episodes. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Until next time. Hey, you know what? Do you have any parting thoughts for us before we take off, bro?
Oh, yeah, actually. So I've got a party bid right now for one of my 14 apes. It's a zombie ape. And I'm basically fractionalizing it for anybody who wants to join sort of the mini community I'm creating. And if people want to check it out, they can go to the Twitter feed of Bored Elon and see what that's all about.
Absolutely awesome, man. I will put that in the description of this video. I appreciate you coming through and giving us a little bit of your time. Until next time, guys, we're out. Peace.